Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 93 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. As you can see, back to working on my new base. That's right, I've got a couple new things I want to work on, but before I get really started working on the new stuff, I want to show you what I finished up between last episode and this one. I did some cool stuff in my Thaumcraft room. I think this room looks awesome. I mean, I might be a little bit crazy, but I think it looks really neat, doesn't it? Like the crazy checkerboard floor, all the design of everything, and the really just like super black walls looks neat to me. I think it fits really well. Now, I know the ceiling looks totally out of place, but don't worry. I've got a plan for that, and that's what I'm going to start working on this episode, is the things I'm going to need to get that plan in place. So I've got a little bit of work to do in order to get what I want for the ceiling of this room, as well as some of the other rooms that I'd like to replace. But it's going to require a little bit of work. Looks like this guy's done building. So real quick, I'm going to kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm working towards here. Let's get some stuff up here so that we have a nice... There we go. And how's this room look? Not too shabby. All right, so that's stage one. So next up, I'd like a room that breaks off over here. And this is going to pretty much be a similar size. So I think if I just translate this guy east a bit. So let's see, do I have any translation modules that'll fit east? Will that be enough? Let's get rid of our field stabilizer, and this will give me an idea if I have enough. I do not. I need at least, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more translation modules. Hopefully I can get that going. Oh, maybe not. I might be a little bit in trouble here too, because believe it or not, I'm kind of short on diamonds. I guess a good thing to do would probably turn this off for a minute. Let's go snag our ore processing machine. I do have to configure the whole ore processing thing. I haven't quite figured or configured that yet. So it's this guy that I need to bring back with me and get him behaving. So let's head on back here. And for now, I'll just kind of stick this in a corner somewhere where it's a little bit out of the way. So that should wind up having a bunch of items start to flow into the AE system here, in theory. Just want to make sure. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful, right? So tons of stuff showing up, exactly what you'd expect to see. Now I haven't quite configured my auto processing system yet. By the way, this setup is working beautifully. As you can see, I've got a perfect amount of alimentum here, and just like we configured it, we should have about 200 alimentum in here, and once we drop below 200, you can see the machine starts running, creates just a few, and then, you know, it just works perfectly. I'm really pleased with it. Which is pretty much why I haven't even noticed that it's there. That's the best thing, is when you build like a perfect system, you don't kind of forget that it even exists. You're like, oh right, it's there, but like you don't even worry about it anymore. It's just doing its thing. Cool. So, do I have any diamonds yet? Hopefully. But no. Goodness, how much unluck can I have? Come on, just give me a couple diamonds. Guess while I'm here, I can probably grab an export bus. Well, I'm probably actually going to need that and some of this, because we're going to want ores. So, figure this out. I'll have to teach this thing pretty much how to handle things. So basically we've got our macerators here. While they are plugged in and ready to work, they haven't been told how to do things yet. So if we take a look down here, I do have import buses, and they're basic for now. I might need to upgrade them because you know how induction furnaces actually do a pretty good job of really working fast. So let's get in here and configure this bit of stuff. I might... because I've got the power running up the back there. We'll see. How am I for cable? Grab 3 of those guys, and let me just put some stuff away for now. Don't really need most of this at the moment. Let's grab each type of ore that I might be getting. So iron, ferrous I have to deal with separately. Copper, lead, silver, gold. Should have tin in here somewhere. Tin. Is that about everything? Should be. So then all we have to do is, I'll probably just do this, just to make it easy and the least ugly. Come here, you. There we go. And then it's just a matter of move stacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this thing should start processing our ores for us. Cool. And the same for you. Move stacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, now after all that work, I better have some diamonds. Well, I got 4. That's good enough for me. Alright, so let's get some translation modules here. And I should have a few scale modules that I can upgrade. That'll do. I think I needed 6 to go in here, right? To the east. Oh, right, and let's turn it on, too. And the other thing I want to do this episode is get rid of these stupid light mages from spawning. Alright, so that's 1 further away than I want it to be. So let's move it back 1 and make sure the room looks good. And then we should be in good shape to start building it. Yeah, this'll do for my purposes. So, get to work, would you? There we go. And that should quickly put together a room for me. Oh, that's so cool to watch. Alright, so I'll be back in a minute once that room's ready, and what I want to do is start moving something here. Actually, let me grab, just temporarily, because I've been doing so much with this, I might as well swap in and out. Get these things in here, and I'll be back in a minute. I want to start moving something new from my old base to my new one. So this room that I've just finished building out is going to be my smeltery room. So this is going to be the room that's going to be responsible for doing a lot of automated processes around Tinker's Construct. And there are some things from Tinker's Construct that I want to automate. So we're going to focus on doing that this episode. So we're going to make this, again, as efficient as possible, but at the same time, trying to be, you know, really kind of pretty cool and everything. So I'm trying to decide exactly how I want this to work out. So we definitely want to have, well, I mean, I could probably have it like I had last time. So let's have the smeltery controller here. And I guess the tanks can be here. Or maybe the tank should be back here. That might not be a terrible idea. And if the tank's going to be there, then I'm going to have the controller here. And that guy should be active now. Nice. And we're going to check out something cool and new as well this episode that's going to relate to what I'm doing, but we'll get to that in a moment. So what I'm thinking then is, and we want 2 smeltery drains, right? So we're probably going to want just 1 here and 1 here. And I'm probably going to want a couple different smelteries. We'll see if I really need them or not, but I might wind up doing that. And I've got this guy. Of course, it's not terribly easy to work while I have a hole right behind me, so that was just more for what would this look like if I had more than one of these things. So we can have you, we'll put the casting basin here, we'll have the casting table here, and we will have fluid duct here with you. Where's my wrench? There it is. You, disabled, you off. And I had a pneumatic servo ready to go in there. Now I want to filter this, right? So that only certain liquids are allowed to get pulled out and automated into the casting basin. So let's get ourselves some sand. And I might wind up making this a taller thing just so it can work a little bit faster. But for now, let's just dump a bunch of sand in there. The next thing we need, though, is, you guessed it, lava. So how are we going to handle that? Well, I'll be right back. Alright, so I think the best place to set this up is probably down here in my auto processing room, or it could be in my storage room. Well, I guess this is, either way, it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to go ahead and stick it in here, why not? So I've got an ender tank. I don't even know where this is coming from at this point, because it's been so long since I've actually configured this ender tank. But let's see what happens. Oh, wow, almost perfect. But that might be in my way, actually, so we'll have to see. What I want to do here, then, is put on, if I put this on and flip this lever, nice, that's what I wanted to see. Okay, cool. So then I can break this guy and place down another one of these peer-to-peer tunnel things. Perfect. Now let's encode with a shift click, settings save to memory card. Perfect. Let's find our way over to our smeltery. That's going to be over here, right? That should be the tank. Perfect. So what we want to have here then is another golden fluid pipe that goes here. And we're going to have a P2P tunnel on that guy. Let's get ourselves some cabling. Good, I've got like a stack of it. And I'm going to run this along here because I know I'm going to be tapping into some of the other stuff inside this room anyway, so it's going to be a good idea to get this run along this way. Cool. So let's run this straight across here. I just took a quick look to make sure that my energy is high enough for this flight, because the last thing we'd want is to fall into the void at this point. That would not be good. Alright, cool. Now all we should have to do is right-click this guy with the P2P tunnel, and we should be able to... Hey, come back here. Oh, well. Loaded. Oh, right, there's one more thing we have to do. I need this wooden fluid pipe. We have to tell these P2P tunnels that they actually deserve to be connecting to these things. So let's right-click with the wooden fluid pipe. There we go. Now we can see it's connected, okay? So I'll right-click... No. Shift right-click, load the settings from memory card. Or save them, I mean. And then if I right-click here, we'll either... Ah, there we go. Nice. So now that just told that pipe to become a liquid transport pipe, and we can see the lava flowing in there. So if we come into this room again, what we should see is some lava starting to fill up the smeltery, and the smeltery starting to process. Awesome. That's what I wanted to see. Cool. So slowly but surely we're going to be getting lava put in there. And you know that the lava level here is not always super accurate, but if we take a look over here, we should see a pretty full tank. Yeah, that's good. Cool. So the tank is full. It's working exactly the way it should be. We've got lava now transporting through our system using those peer-to-peer tunnels, which is super cool because it means that we now have a single access point for all the lava that we'd ever need in the base. So if we ever need more lava for any other reason, we obviously have access to it. So that is awesome. So now that that's working, I should be about to the point where the sand might be done cooking, or no, not yet. Almost. Be right back. Alright guys, we're back. So what I'm going to do is put a bucket here on the casting table, and that's going to fill the bucket with the liquid that's currently inside here, which is molten glass. So once that fills up, there we go, we've got a bucket of molten glass. That's exactly what I wanted, except I didn't want to dump it out into the world and light myself on fire. That's the opposite of what I wanted. But should be able to put a fluid filter here now, and we can say... ignore redstone signal. Now that's what I'm talking about. So let's then get an import bus. And get ready to suck that stuff directly into our AE system. Beautiful. So now that should be nice and automated. Cool. There we go. Got so much junk in my inventory, let me tell you. Goodness. Alright, next up. Why do I have 61 cactus? I don't even know. I'm going to smelt it because that sounds like a good plan. Good, looks like my macerators and everything finished their work. Let me just check the ores real quick and see if I didn't miss any. Aluminum, Vintium, none of this stuff needs to be macerated. Ferrous, I don't think can go into the macerator. I think that has to go into the thermal expansion one, right? Yeah, that won't even fit in there. Alright, so I'll figure out how to automate ferrous in a little bit. It'll probably just wind up having to go into the pulverizer. Cool. So now that we've got that basic setup going and we're dumping all the fluid out, let's automate getting a certain amount of this stuff at all times. So I want to keep a good steady amount. So let's get some sand. Ooh. Oh, that's all right. It's in barrels. I forgot. And then we're going to get an export bus. And we might as well upgrade it to a good one. And while that's going, I'll request 20 more of these things just because I can. And we'll also, we've got the import bus, we've got that stuff. So all I should really need then is a new gadget called a level emitter. I don't think I've played with these yet on the single player series, though if you guys have watched any of my other series, you're probably familiar with what they are and how they work. What these do is they can keep an eye on how much of a certain material is in your AE system. So let me demonstrate real quick for those of you who may not be familiar with how this works. Okay, so here, for example, is my smeltery. Now, I don't want to continuously dump all my sand into my smeltery because I might wind up with a position where I'm out of sand and I have like 10,000 or 20,000 or whatever blocks of clear glass. And that might just be a little bit silly at this point, right? Like, we don't need that much clear glass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to configure the system to, similar to, oh wait, yeah, I did the level emitter back here, didn't I? Yeah, similar to this setup. So what I'll do is have the level emitter programmed to stop when it gets to a certain point. That's right, I already showed you guys the level emitter. I'll tell you. All right, so we're going to export sand, but only when the redstone signal is on. And we can move stacks at a time, that's fine. And what we're also going to want to have here is the level emitter pointing at that guy, and we're going to say clear glass. And this will be emit when levels are below a limit. So I'm going to say 1,000 for now. So I want to keep 1,000 clear glass at all times. Okay. So if we run this guy right like so, what we should wind up with is, as long as we have less than 1,000 clear glass, the redstone signal will stay on, telling this guy to go ahead and dump some sand into the smeltery. Now, if we made this 100, for example, it would turn off and it would stop dumping sand into the smeltery. So, for example, if I took this sand out of here, see how it doesn't replace it? But then if we bump it back up to 1,000, because that's how much I want to keep, now it's going to go ahead and turn on the redstone signal, and it replaced that piece of sand. Cool, right? So now we've automated clear glass production, which is pretty much something that I want to do because I'm going to be using it throughout my base to make the ceilings out of. So what I'm thinking here then is, let's use this room that we're in for right now as a sample. So let's get some clear glass. I've got a bunch. And let's get, oh right, I'm dislocating contents. That's right. I brought with me some stuff. So I've got a stencil table, cool. Some blank stencils, you and you. Good. Cool. All right, let's do this. Let's switch this guy back to you. We're going to put some clear glass right there. And we're just going to do the outer edges of this room. Now, because this is an eternal day age, I don't ever have to worry about keeping the room lit at night because, well, there won't be a night. But what I will do is make sure that this clear glass is the ceilings of all my rooms, because then the light will prevent mobs from spawning. See, if we hit an F7 here, we'll see that now no mobs will spawn during the day. And, it's eternal day. So, no worries there. Pretty good looking, right? So that's cool. So that's going to kind of be the solution to my problem of all these stinking mages spawning in here, which are really starting to get on my nerves. So I don't think they'll spawn during the day, right? I hope not. If they can spawn for some reason, I'm going to have to figure out a way to prevent that. How am I for clear glass now? I'm alright, but I could use a little bit more. And let's do this room while we're at it. And luckily, it's pretty easy to do. Just do the border here so that it doesn't, when you right-click, hit the walls, because you don't want to turn your walls into clear glass, obviously. Now, I haven't fully decided how I want my Thaumcraft room to work. Should I have clear glass on the ceiling, or should I paint the ceiling like I did? You know, because we haven't had any more guys spawn in here, so that's a good sign, right? That's kind of a really good sign. It means that, you know, I don't think they can spawn in light levels. And no more guys back here? Cool. So this might prevent these guys from spawning if I can light up these rooms. I haven't decided fully. Do I want the black ceiling? I kind of feel like I might. I think, you know, I was originally planning to go with the clear glass on the ceiling, but I don't know, because it would look like this, and I would see the sun up there in the clouds, and, well, that's kind of cool. I don't know. I've already got a lamp in here, so might as well. And go with the black ceiling, and then it'll just be like this like perfectly black room with this checkerboard floor. Might look really good. All right, let me paint the ceiling, and then we'll see how it goes from there. Oh man, that's even better than I thought it might be. I mean, that is just a trippy looking room. Look at that. Oh, I'm really liking it. That is neat. I might use this more often because that is just awesome looking. All right, be right back. So guys, the whole glass operation is going rather well. I did bump up the height one more. I might bump it up even more. But what I also decided to do is drop down another one of these guys. So now I've got 2 of these running, and I could, in fact, even go with a 3rd if I really wanted to. Maybe I will. All it really needs is an import bus and a casting basin and a fluid duct. Just those 3 pieces, and you've got more efficient glass cookerying. So it's just a matter of this and this, and then this. Cool, right? Because the slow part is not the liquid flowing through the fluid ducts, it's actually the melting into clear glass, right? So that'll definitely help to clear out the molten glass that's backlogged in the smeltery a lot faster. Now, obviously, it's going to continue filling up and all this craziness, so hopefully the 3 of them will be fast enough to keep up with all the sand that we're dumping in there. But we'll find out. I have no idea. Cool. So we've got a lot of clear glass production going on. We're going to continue to transform our ceilings into clear glass. How are we doing for clear glass, by the way? Nice. See how that works? So now I don't ever have to worry about having enough clear glass for any of the work that I want to do. I do need to worry about wands being recharged, though. I probably should get a few more aura nodes, but we'll get to that. All right, be right back. So as I'm moving things over, I decided why not take a look at this orometer. I want to see exactly how it works, because in the past it didn't quite work as well as the goggles of revealing, but maybe it'll be enough to get it working. So let's see, where's my thermometer? Oh, there should be one in here somewhere. One, 2 of these. We'll also need some leather and some gold. And that should be about it. Come here, you. If my memory serves me correctly, this is the recipe. Nice. Just curious if it'll let me see those aura nodes. And then I just need a hologram emitter. Oh good, I have everything I need for one. Perfect. So, let's install it. Orometer. Install. Cool. Can I see the aura nodes? I can. Beautiful. That's what I like to see. That actually works pretty good. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to see them that well or not, but I guess I can. Cool. Alright, sounds good. Back in a moment. Well, believe it or not, I've actually run out of sand. So, real quick, cobble to sand. Encode, and you go right here into my macerator recipe list. There we go. Now that guy should start working, and we'll get sand back in our smeltery. In theory. Oh, you know why? I need to set this and configure him to move single items and craft. So you're allowed to craft things now in order to request them into the smeltery. That's a setting that you don't want to forget about. Cool. So now it should be actively requesting a craft, and there we go. Sand is making its way in. Cool. Because I got halfway done with this room and then got stuck. So, luckily we have lots of cobble. I could set up a cobble gen if I needed to, because I mean I have tons of the stuff. I don't think I've ever actually, or I don't have a cobble gen up running now, right? So, yeah, we'll see. I guess if I wanted to be real sneaky about it, I could do something swift. Let's try one. A real basic one. I got an idea. And we could even keep it like totally separate. Let's do a bucket. And I'll probably want, you know what I should do is have a tank that stores water as well in this base somewhere. Let's do, let me get some water real quick, because I don't even have any in this base anywhere. And that's probably a problem, because I will eventually need it, right? So, off to the overworld we go. I'll build a nice little water generator. And then I'm going to build a cobble gen, and then we'll probably have to wrap up the episode. Here we go. So do I have an aqueous accumulator handy? I do not. Build a machine frame real quick. Aqueous accumulator. Let's make sure we have some fluid ducts. Cool. And I probably have a tank in here, right? Yeah. Hardened is probably the good one to go with. And you. So I'm thinking, let's do this. I'm going to do very similar. We'll have this guy here. We'll have the aqueous accumulator right on top of it. He can start aqueously accumulating. And then we just need a couple, maybe I don't want that there. As much as it's cool that it's right there. Let's get fluid ducts. Let's kind of hide his existence a little bit. I think it'll be okay if there's water in front of him. If not, I just have to rotate him, and it won't be that big a deal. All this for a cobble gen, right? Maybe? No. Alright, let's rotate him then. That might do. We'll see. Hardly a trickle. Alright, let me get him working. Alright, that'll do. So I've got him just a little bit lower down, and now we can cover this up and make it look fancy. Good. So now that we've got water easily accessible, let's make a quick cobble gen. So what I'll probably want here is this. So let's see. If I have a bucket of water, not you, there you go, and lava, and then we have an item transfer node, and a mining upgrade. That should really be all we need. Hopefully I can do this upside down. That's what I wasn't sure about. Oh, look at that. It's working. Nice. And we can even speed this up a little bit. Cool. So now we don't have to worry about cobble, pretty much ever. Is it super beautiful? I don't know about super beautiful, but it works. And it's really compact. And how did this get turned into this? I don't even know. But it did, so let's fix that. Alright guys, for now, we think we have to wrap up the episode, so good old Direwolf20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode here. We'll be back next time to continue working on the super efficient, and awesome base. I hope you guys are enjoying the base layout. Really, please do leave me some comments on my Thaumcraft room. Let me know what you think about it. It is, I think, really cool looking. I mean, whoa. All right, so that's how that happened. I guess because it's directly below. Yeah, I guess so. All right, I'll go fix it. Well, no, I shouldn't have to, actually. I should be able to just do this. All right. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Direwolf20 signing off. Take it easy.